Happy Sunday, everyone. It's Roby 1. It's part 2 of brick analysis, and I brought my bricks, these two and this one, over to the Hamilton Woolen Mills to see if the colors have any similarity. But I believe it's this one that I have in my hand that is the color that matches these. And now this thing is so tatted over time. It's got multicolors, and this building was in a fire on the side. I don't know if it was on this part. I've never looked into the history of the fire here. The other brick I found right over here the other day. But I believe this is the brick that could possibly be the same size. And it's the closest one to 7.5 by 2, which is the size of these bricks. And I also think it's the closest to the color. It's hard to really tell out here, but let's put it up to it. It's definitely close to the size right there. I brought my tape and the history book. Take a look and I'll show you how they're 7.5. Close to 7.5. These are like 7.25 by 2. But they vary. This one's a little closer. Right on the edge of that. One's about 7 3/8. This one's 7.5. Some of them are 7 3/8, 7.25. I want to do an actual brick analysis. It looks like they were 3/8, but some are 7.5. I might go through a few. I'd say 7 3/8. And this old mortar they use is a lot better than the mortar people use today. I did notice there's a crack in it there. Is that lentil original? I would say no. See that right there, a little fudge packer? This whole part could have been remortared at one point that I don't know. So let's get over to the other side of the building. Now I looked it up online. The first bricks in Massachusetts were Salem, Mass. 1629, a structure over there. I don't know the exact structure. Eventually we'll be in Salem. I know someone who just went out there and he said there's an old Masonic building out there, so I'll be out there at one point. The first bricks in America were supposedly in Virginia, and I believe it's Williamsburg. Another structure I haven't looked up, but I looked this up just to get the little fun facts in there. Now it's hard to remember every little thing in detail. That Stiles and Hart company, I went back on there again, and back in the 1800s they did 18,000 bricks a day, and today 70,000. It made the curing process a lot quicker. And this is where I noticed the fire was, because you can see it. And this isn't the fire that I'm talking about the bricks from my house come from. That's in a different area. It's over there beyond them buildings. And there's another old structure there that's a mud flood. This is a mud flood building, and also used to be Mill Street Brewers. The weed facilities over here too. This is where you used to be able to go into the club. There was 2 parts. A lot of good bands played here. Days of the New, Bullet Boys, LA Guns, Shinedown. And I've known several people that hung out with all these people, luckily. This back part, I don't know if it's part of the original structure. And at one point, I believe there was a turret on that could have been broken off at one point, or the original mud flood. All speculation and theorization. But I've gone all the way down to the back, and the bricks that are in some of these windows are a different size. I was saying how these gates that are up there almost look like jail bars. It's an airport in Southbridge. Up there, the detail on that is a little different than detail on this building at the height. So that could mean it was built at a different time. It almost looks like the bricks are different too. The old mortar had a redness to it. People's mortar today has like white. And when I go to Warren, because that's where we're going next, to the Ramsdale powerhouse building, that building has the red mortar too. And one thing about each town that I'm researching in these books is they all had like a power structure family. Out here it's the Amadowns, and you're gonna keep hearing me say that because they were the ones who were here in the 1600s, and I believe funded Chester Dresser because he married into their family. Poison ivy in this area, gotta be careful. Them ones over there are like 7 3/8 to 1/2 to 2 inches. And I brought the history book right here just to show you the dates again. And we're on this back angle looking up just like that. And that's looking at coming over the bridge before you get here. But if you notice there's an apartment there right on the edge of the river, which is right behind us. And it almost looks like it was a pond at that point. It's funny how they don't show the river going up there. Did they create the diversion to make the river go to the other side? That's a good question. Now we're right within this area, and that apartment would have been built like right here somewhere. And if you look, the river's right there. Right there. Right down there. So it almost looked like it was right here near the telephone pole. And at that point, the telephone pole wasn't even there. Odd. There used to be a building right on the corner that was shaped like a triangle. It used to be a little restaurant. I'm not stepping in that because that's like poison ivy. And they definitely tampered with the water lines at one point, just due to the fact that some of these stone walls in the river go down deep. There's no way they went underwater to do that, build a stone wall. They had to tamper with the water lines with the dam at one point to lower it. But this is where the fill-in bricks are. They're a different size, and you can tell they're a newer style brick. These are the ones that are like 8 1/8 by 2 1/4. All the bricks, those styles and hot bricks, are like 2 1/4, 2 3/8 by 7 1/2. So we're looking at 4 different sizes already with bricks that I have. What I'm trying to pinpoint is the standard size that was used back then. And if these are styles and hot bricks, more fill-ins. Factory's kind of a mess. Looks like someone hit the corner and they put that there to tidy it up. But right after this, I'm heading out to Warren. We're gonna put all the studies I have into one video. We're gonna mesh today. The peak pediments, the pillar decipherment, the mudflood, the yellow brick theory, the Masonic value of that town. And this has Masonic value too, in my opinion. All the elites control these buildings. The hunt continues, and the mystery continues of what history truly was. And I'm out to Warren, Mass. Peace and have a nice day.